When I came home, like, I was achieving like victories, like a job. I got a job like as soon as I kind of like came home. I went to school. A lot of things was kind of like working in my favor, but I was in the shelter.
My lease had ran out, and my landlord, because it's not a rent stabilized or rent control apartment, she was able to basically demand what she wanted for the apartment, and so that was unsustainable for me. So I eventually had to transition out of that apartment.
After my justice system involvement, I wanted to get put on a lease of my father's NYCHA apartment. However, because of the existing policies, this was not possible. I moved in and he died sometime afterwards, and I was evicted by marshal.
Being a father, I had to address the need to provide safe housing for my child. I didn't want him to experience the trappings of poverty, which I did, which included actually being a victim of gun violence in the same very building. So I've actually been trying to escape this situation, this building, forever and ever and ever. And now I'm homeless, trying to figure out where's my home.
I would find myself going to real estate offices and put in an application, and I was always told that I meet all the standards for employment, tax scores, and etc. But they always kept coming back to my background. Landlords immediately discriminate once they hear that you have a criminal justice background, and they don't look at what you've done subsequent.
As time went on, like at first, things was moving accordingly, but then it was like the housing issue was like stagnant. And I realized it started to like impact me in like other parts of my life. I used to spend hours in school, like a lot of time in school, just because like I was in the shelter, and like just going back there was just like so depressing. It kind of felt like going back to prison.
I'm going to school now to complete another master's degree, and just the peace of mind of knowing that I have my own place will be a very significant burden off my shoulders.
You start questioning a whole bunch of other things that might not even have anything to do with like housing.
To find gainful employment, it impacts individual. If you have children, developing relationships with your children.
The challenges and the effects of homelessness on my life do not only affect myself, they actually affect my child. It comes down to statistics. A person born to a father with substance abuse history, who has an incarceration history, who doesn't have a track record of long-term employment, it says that he's soon to go down a similar path.
There are hundreds and thousands of people that are transitioning outside of the criminal justice system or the prison industrial complex. And where do you go?
I've done my time. I want to become a productive member of society, and I want to reintegrate. I believe housing is very necessary and instrumental in being able to do that and being able to flourish in life.
If you have a proper home, then you are part of the community. If you have a sense of belonging, you're a part of the community. You actively try to engage the community and help it and build it. You're not destroying it. When we are included in the conversation, we can actually be role models in the community. We can be teachers, we can be lawyers, we can be doctors, we can be mentors. We can actually be something as opposed to waiting and waiting and waiting to get housing.